Hi, my name is Keaton. I'm with Ulta Home, and today we are painting this house in Newton. So we're gonna go cover some good prep work and then what is our painting process inside this house. Come check it out. All right, a lot of these houses in Newton, Massachusetts are gonna be older. This is not one of them. This house was actually built in the 1950s instead of 1800s. So what we get to do is follow a pretty normal painting process in a house like this. You'll notice as we come in, this is our work area. This is the room that we are doing. The first thing you're gonna notice is we cover the floor with paper. That's the first thing that we're gonna be doing. The reason we cover with paper and not drop cloth is because drop cloth can carry a lot of debris in it that can get all over your home, which you definitely don't want. You don't want our debris in your house. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna put down paper all over the floor. Tape it against the baseboards to make sure that we have a nice clean working area. You'll see we're using yellow tape, not blue tape, not orange tape, not red tape, not duct tape, because the sticky level on the yellow washi tape is low enough that we can put it right on the baseboard and it's not gonna peel the paint off. If you were to put blue tape on this baseboard and leave it there for more than a couple days, it's gonna pull the paint right off and then we're gonna have to be redoing the job. One of the things that makes a paint job great instead of okay is the prep work. So you might think painters, they slap paint on, but most of the time what they're doing is prep work and repair work. So if we look at this wall right here, there were a lot of cracks and imperfections on this wall. And so what we had to do was cut them open. We actually made the damage worse. So we're not just putting stuff over it so that you have waves in your wall. And then we're gonna take a joint compound type of product and we are going to smooth it out over the wall. This is the first coat that they put on. It's still drying. They are going to need to sand it after it's dry. So they're gonna let it dry. They're gonna sand it. They'll do another coat so that it's nice and smooth and it's gonna make it disappear because a great painter will make things disappear. You can see on this wall, this is the other side of the window. Same thing, not as much damage. They have a much thinner coat. But if you come a little closer, you can still see we're gonna have this line right here. We're gonna have a crack that's coming through here. Like I said, this is the first coat. This is not how we're gonna finish the job. You just gotta get the product on there, let it dry, and then we're gonna take some 220 grit sandpaper, smooth it all out, and then we're gonna do it again to make sure that it disappears. Right in this area, we had a former TV mount. You can see there's this big square that goes right around here. Mounted TV left a huge mark. So what we did is we actually cut this line deeper so we could put a lot of product in there and fill it. You've got a big gouge right here. You have a gouge here. This is not actually a gouge. It's just the paint where it broke from the screw holes, but there's a screw hole there. There's another couple over here. This is our first coat. So you put a nice, on something that's this damaged, you're gonna put a real thin coat because you're trying to fill all these holes. And what it does, as it dries, it's gonna shrink. That's why you can see there's these gaps right here. So once this dries, they're gonna sand it, fill it in again, let it dry, fill it in again until it is completely gone and it blends in with the wall. This one, this is a big damage area. Getting rid of it is going to take a lot of extra work, a lot of extra time, so that when the paint finally goes on, it's like the house is brand new. So over on this wall, one thing that you're going to see, we left our screws in. We've marked some lines. There's some shelves that go right here. So we took them off and then we put the screws back in. The screws indicate don't fill the hole. If we're to fill the hole and then try to put the screw back in, it's not gonna hold the screw very well. So we're just gonna leave it in there, don't fill the hole, mark our lines so that we know exactly where the shelf goes back. Once we're done painting, put it back, touch up the paint a little bit, we're good to go. All right, so the product that we're using to fill all these holes and make the wall smooth is this USG Easy Sand 45-minute joint compound. You can get different types of joint compound depending on the job. You can get a 5-minute joint compound. That's going to dry really quick. If you're doing a small hole, just one, it's great. You can just patch it. It's going to dry in about 5 minutes. Sand it, patch it. If you're doing a large area like this, you need the dry time to slow down a bit. That's why we use the 45-minute joint compound. It gives us a lot of working time to make sure everything is smooth and it's not going to dry so fast that we end up in a bad place. They also have a premix that comes in a bucket. That stuff's fine if you're doing a massive area or you just don't want to go through the process of mixing. But we like this stuff that we have to self-mix because we can get our water ratios right and you're going to end up with a better finish than the premix stuff. The premix stuff is fine, but if we get to choose, this is the product we're going to go with. One thing that might be a frustration as a homeowner is you pay to have this nice room painted. You come in, it's beautiful, but then you go to look at your outlet covers and you're missing one. Or you're missing 3 or 4 screws on your outlet covers and you're like, I got to go to Home Depot or the hardware store and replace these. So the way we do that is, or the way we take care of that is we put all of your outlet covers and your screws in a bucket. You can see all the screws are taped right there so we're not losing any. All the outlet covers for this room go in one bucket and they stay in this room. If we were doing multiple rooms, each room would have its own bucket or bag with all of these right in there so that you don't have to worry about us losing anything, and when the job's done, it's done. One of the questions you're going to have to figure out as a homeowner if you're going to be painting your house is what type of paint are you going to use? Are you going to use Behr from Home Depot? Are you going to use another product from one of the big box stores? Or are you going to go with a little bit higher end paint? And it can be kind of confusing to figure out what type of paint is going to be best for our room. So we've made it easy. We work almost exclusively with Benjamin Moore. Okay, so that's what this product is. This is a Benjamin Moore product from their bin line. This is part of our select line at Ulta Home. We have our luxury, which is Aura from Benjamin Moore, Regal Select, and then bin. We like this product. This is a great product for the price that you're going to be paying for it. And you're going to get a good lifetime out of this paint. We're going eggshell on the walls, but when you're figuring out like what type of paint am I supposed to use, you can let us take care of it because we're using Benjamin Moore. And we have not started painting this room yet. We've got the floors perimeter covered, but before we start, we want to look at some of the damage that you might see on your walls that you're like, I really want a painter to make this go away. So if you come over here, if you see all these imperfections, we've got this bright light showing on. Okay, so we have some divots and we have some paint that's popping out. We have some thick lines. Now, no offense to my homeowners out there, but this looks like a homeowner special to me. Thick roller marks on here tells me that whoever painted this last doesn't have a lot of experience painting. When I paint a room, this is kind of what it looks like. When our guys paint a room, it's gonna be much smoother. What we're gonna have to do is scrape some of these off. Might do a little bit more damage than what is there now, but we're going to scrape it off so that we can smooth it out with our joint compound or our compound product to help make this go away. The next thing that we're going to do, all walls should be sanded just a little bit prior to us putting some paint. So that's going to get rid of a lot of these brush marks. And we take our Festool sander, big 12-inch sander, we're just going to smooth out the walls a little bit to make sure that all these brush marks go away. Something inevitably happens every time a painter or a carpenter or a plumber shows up at your house to do some work. Your eyes start to notice things that you'd never noticed before. So for example, in this house, we are only painting the walls. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Wall, chair rail, lower wall. But if you come over here and you look up at this crown molding here, you can see there is previous paint bleeding through. Now, the homeowner probably has not noticed this yet, but there's a good chance that they will. And so we can ask them, like, do you want us to take care of this or not? Or do you want to just leave it? One of the things about home improvement, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Okay, so it's better to just go ahead and take care of it now so that you're not trying to enjoy dinner or whatever you're doing in this room and you're staring up at your crown molding. But one of the other things you'll notice, or that you may not have noticed before, is some of the damage that can happen over time. So for example, right along this wall, or this, excuse me, this piece of molding here, you can see there's cracking starting to happen. I can also tell that this has not been caulked, and caulking is going to give it a nice smooth finish. So what we're going to do here, before we do any painting on the wall, is we're going to cut this just a little bit. Take a nice knife, a little X-Acto blade, right down to create some space, and then we're going to caulk it right down this edge. Now if we caulk this, that means I'm going to have to at least paint this edge. Okay, so we're going to paint this edge and then paint this wall, and it will make this crack go away. When you hire a painter, you want your room to look really nice. And that doesn't mean just slapping paint on the wall. That means taking care of cracks and imperfections. So if you look right here, this is probably one of the reasons the homeowner called us in the first place, is you have a crack in the paint that comes all the way up and it keeps going and it goes and goes and goes. Oh, it trails off this way and up to the ceiling and all the way up. Nobody wants this on their wall. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scrape the paint. We're gonna cut this open just a little bit so that we have a nice place to put our compound. We're gonna fill it, let it dry, sand it, fill it again to make the whole surface nice and smooth. And this is going to disappear, which is one of the great things about Ulta Home painters, is they're great at making things disappear. What do I mean when I say they make things disappear? It means that won't be there anymore. It will look like a brand new wall when we are done with it.
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna hire a painter for your house, you're gonna want somebody who pays attention to detail. And we at Ulta Home, we pay attention to detail. From the covering, to the cleanliness, to the little cracks and imperfections, we take care of the small stuff. So give us a call so we can come check out your home.